Hello, Phoenix Risers. Welcome to Leo season, and welcome to the new moon in Leo. You may have some time left to still do your new moon rituals. However, I feel like the real power, the um the the pentacle, I feel like has was actually started on the 22nd. So between the 22nd and today, we had a portal, like an energetic portal on the 22nd, and then the energy has just been kind of building between then and now. And it usually with the new moons, it's about releasing and setting your intentions and bringing forth um, creating energetic space for what you want to bring forth and create in your life, which is the same with this new moon, but this is a really powerful new moon that actually acts as a reset as well. So those of you who have successfully completed a transition or completion of a cycle, I've been seeing the Wheel of Fortune a lot. um, the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, the Wheel of Fortune, and but that's not what I've been seeing the World a lot, which is the completion, ending of a cycle. I know I've been ending cycles and releasing and letting go and creating energetic space for and setting intentions for all of the things that I would like to bring in. So we're going to get into some of the aspects. We still have a lot of really strong planetary aspects going on. A lot of these outer planets, though, have transitioned into new signs. A lot of them are retrograde. I don't know, honestly, I don't know if that's good or bad, but with retrograde energy, it has to do with revisiting, reevaluating, reassessing, anything like re reevaluating and reassessing things. So it's like going back and reviewing stuff. So a lot of some of these outer planets are in retrograde right now. We'll get into some of that. And then I do want to pull some cards for the tarot for you. Of course, I'm going to use my Radiant Tarot deck because hello, Leo season. And this is my deck with the sun on the back. Can you see that? So I'm going to pull from the Radiant Tarot. I'm going to pull from the Ascension Oracle because we're rising, y'all. And then I'm going to end you with a guided message from Rumi. And that's pretty much it. So let's talk about it. Let's get into it. What are some of these aspects going on? So, of course, hello, Leo season, my season. I am a Leo. You're welcome. Okay, so Sun in Leo. We also have Mercury retrograde in Leo. Um, I believe since the 18th of July, and will be retrograde in Leo until August 11. So, yeah, and then we have Saturn and Neptune, also both retrograde in Aries, and then we have Mars in Virgo, and then we still have Venus in Gemini. Okay, so and then there's a whole lot of other aspects going on as well, but I'm just going to focus on some of these major ones, because these are the ones that I know, and these are the ones that, and for the sake of time. So, oh, and then we also, before I forget, we also have Pluto retrograde, of course, in Aquarius. So, which is where he will reside for, I believe, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to say like 2 decades or something like that, for a really long time. Okay, but so we're in the sign of Leo. We all know Mercury retrograde. Communication issues, electronics issues with electronics. Yeah, blah blah blah. But what is it? What else does it mean? So let's let's talk about it a little bit. Retrograde, Mercury retrograde in Leo and what that represents. So Leo, I feel like is the most what am I trying to say? The most misunderstood sign in the zodiac, next to Scorpio, which is another one of my signs. But I feel like Leo's very misunderstood. We're, for one, the only sign ruled by the sun, and like Cancer being the only sign ruled by the moon. So if you consider the moon and the sun like our planetary, our luminary, our planetary parents, like the our father and the mother. So the sun is like the father, our masculine, and then the moon is like the mother, our divine feminine. So anyway, Leo is the only sign ruled by the sun. So the characteristics and attributes, the natural characteristics and attributes of a Leo often come across to other people as too this, too that, too extreme, too dramatic, too flamboyant, too this, too bold, too self-centered. But actually it's really misunderstood. And yes, we are a very large, expansive, bold, fiery energy. And of course, other aspects to one's chart will also play a role into somebody's personality and characteristics. So that's what makes us all unique and individual. But under the blanket characteristics of Leo, the blanket character attributes and characteristics of a typical Leo is bold and dramatic and fiery and um, expansive. So what else do we have? What else? I should know all of these things um, by heart, and I do know the characteristics of a Leo, but again, it's all aspects of one's birth chart that makes up your whole character, is what I'm saying. And there's a really spiritual aspect to Leo as well, that it's more esoteric, but there's an element to that to every sign. But that's not our message today, so we're not going to get into that right now. I don't want to confuse things and make our message go way longer than intended. So anyway, we're dealing with a very bold and fiery, expressive energy, a creative energy. So, with Mercury being in retrograde in this type of energy, it's really going to, um, again, have you or encourage you to reevaluate or reassess how it is you're showing up and expressing yourself creatively and authentically, and and being bold and being a leader in your own life. Um, Leo is also next to Aries. Leo is also the leader of the zodiac. So, how are you showing up as the leader in your own life, and also taking accountability for your own, for everything, all aspects of your life, your relationships, your health, your home, your your career, anything that you wish to create and see in your life, also as well as your healing, and not outsourcing that either. I'm not a doctor. Take this how it resonates and use your discernment. I'm throwing that out there as a disclaimer because I know people do it. So I would hate to I would hate to throw something out there like that and then somebody try to come for me in a legal way. It's, I was just having this conversation the other day that, it doesn't matter if I'm speaking to an audience of one or 100,000, the message is still the same. How it comes out is how it comes out. So take what resonates, use discernment, leave what doesn't, and if you don't like it, get off my channel. Period. And that's another Leo attribute and characteristic as well too. You know, we're gonna be authentic. We're gonna, we're gonna say what's on our mind, and it's there's no sugarcoating it. It's not. It may not be. It may not be an energy for everybody, but it's authentic, and I'm gonna keep. I say it all the time, and I'm gonna keep saying it. But authenticity is the highest vibrational frequency next to love. So who cares if people don't like it? If they don't like it, it's because it's triggering something in their own shadow. So as long as you're showing up the way, as long as you're showing up authentically and um, in your own power and with integrity and love and how what's true to you, then that's what matters. That's stay in your own lane. That's what matters. So keeping that in mind. Um, so Mercury retrograde in Leo is really going to have you reevaluate how you're showing up and reassess. Choosing truth over comfort. Um, where are you sacrificing your truth for the sake of staying in your comfort zone or for feeling a false sense of security and not wanting to change. So, where are you holding yourself back there? Also, this new moon in Leo also invites you to choose new experiences instead of old ones. Again, this is a reset. This is a time for expansion, expression, creative expression, and joy. Leo rules the fifth house and the inner child. So it's really a good time to bring out your inner child, have fun. Where can you, uh, where are you having an imbalance in your life of fun and self-love and joy and all of those things? In a perfect world, we would be able to incorporate all of those things in one, and some of us do. Some of us do what we enjoy doing, and um, they're not separate boxes for each thing. um, how can you create more, how can you incorporate more things to embody um, things that represent your higher self? Last month, actually not even just last month, but with one of our aspects, Mars being in Virgo, that aspect supports embodying. And gosh, this I have my humidifier on. It's really getting smoky, I noticed. Or not smoky, but um, steamy. Let me turn it a little bit. I'm looking all mystical. More mystical than intended. um, but anyway, Mars in Virgo is about embodying um, and anchoring in some of these new habits and things that you're incorporating into your life. you know every single month is an opportunity to release with the new moon and to bring in with the full moon. So it's there's opportunities to move through these cycles, and how you measure your progress and your your ascension, really, because it's hard to see. There's layers of perception, and it's hard to see the highest level of perception when you're in the muck of it, when you're in the deep and you're in the game. So in other words, it's kind of hard to see the moves when you're in the game. Sometimes you have to step out, take a bird's eye view, and really see, um, and take note. And that's the purpose of some of these retrogrades as well, to reevaluate, reassess, see where you are, and actually see your progress, where you are, and make changes accordingly. So, which gets me into the next aspects. I kind of just went into the characteristics and attributes of one without going down the list of all of. Well, I guess I did, but anyway, I digress. I'm like squirrel or Dory. Anyway, Mercury retrograde. I blame, if I could speak, I blame Mercury retrograde. All right. So anyway, continuing on, I don't want to dwell too much on it or get too off track. So also, in addition to all of this, all of these larger planets in retrograde, we also have the sun opposing Pluto right now, and Pluto is in retrograde as well in Aquarius. So the sun right now opposing Pluto, what that could feel like is, um, well, first off, Pluto is our planet of destruction, radical transformation, and change. So in the tarot, it's death in the tower. It's scorpionic, and it's very transformational. So with it opposing the sun right now, which in tarot is our 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 luminary planet and our vibrational card, highest vibrational frequency card in the deck. So with that, it could feel like um, a heavy undercurrent of could be feel kind of volatile, as if like there's this things happening in the undercurrent behind the scenes that are shifting and transforming and taking shape that we can't quite see, but we could feel it because it's a very strong transformational energy that Pluto brings. So we have that. It could amplify, it could feel like conflicts and tensions are amplified or could amplify at any second. So it's a good time to think before you speak, and especially with Mercury in retrograde. But it's really asking you to really think before you speak, and also um, be less reactive, because this could be an energy that feels kind of reactive, and then it's like, oh shoot, what just happened? You just changed the whole trajectory of your life is what happened. So that's something to keep in mind with these energies. And then we have Saturn and Neptune both retrograde um, in in Aries. So Saturn is again our planet of karma, time, structures, work, discipline, stuff like that. Think structures, think Capricorn, characteristics related to Capricorn in the tarot, and also the devil. But mainly structures and time and karma, the stuff that we're working through, that we've come in with, and that we've also accumulated during this incarnation. So let me check my thing. I'm all paranoid now. Ever since that day, I did a whole hour of recording, and just to find out that the microphone was off. Okay, so I gotta check. Um, so Saturn Saturn, our planet of, that's like our also our grandfather. So if I say time, it's like our father time, which I guess is true. But if the sun is our father, then I guess Saturn is like our grandfather. And then Neptune is our our watery, dreamy planet of illusions and dreams, but also I think characteristics of Pisces. And Pisces is also very spiritual, so and mature, our oldest sign in the zodiac. So It's also spiritual maturity, which is also Neptune, but very illusionary as well, and dreamy. So in this scenario, um, Saturn is actually acting, giving some kind of structure to that illusionary, dreamy um, energy, along with that undercurrent of Pluto rearranging things under the scene. So we could feel our own energies could feel kind of discombobulated and really needing to ground. Also, with Neptune being, um, it also represents our intuition, and um, it's a, you could feel that your intuition is really heightened right now, and that your upper chakras are opening and clearing, really clearing out some of these upper chakras, including your heart chakra. Leo rules the heart. So you could feel maybe emotional at times, overly emotional, and maybe not even understanding why. It may be something may trigger you out of the blue for no reason that you're not consciously, may not be consciously aware of why. Don't fight it. Just know that whatever is coming up to be released, allow it to be released, because that's why it's coming up. It wants to be seen, felt, recognized, and let go of, integrated, or transmuted. So allow yourself to feel whatever you need to feel. In the more you can feel, allow yourself to feel that and not numb or bury it, the better off you'll be. So then there's that. Um, what else? We still have Venus in Gemini right now, I believe. Yes. And Venus in Gemini, of course, Gemini represents the lovers in tarot. However, Venus rules Taurus and Libra. And then Venus in the sign of Gemini, which I kind of touched on in my last video, the energy of that could feel kind of dualistic and like a push pull type energy that could have you feeling anxious, restless, indecisive. So, again, really needing to ground. So, that's still going to be my number one advice for you during this time, is to ground yourself, get into your body, feel your body, move as much as you can. That's one way to really get present. That's my next advice, is to stay present as much as you can, really get hyper present, um, and also intentional, super intentional with your thoughts, your actions. Are your thoughts matching? Are your intentions, your thoughts, and your actions all in alignment? Where are you out of alignment? And where are you truly holding yourself back? Because once you know something and you see it, then it's no longer an excuse to hold yourself back. It's just willful ignorance at that point. So it's like, okay, well, it's just willful, and I know it's easier said than done, in order to heal yourself, or heal yourself from certain things, or decide to let certain things go. um, it's not easy. It's easier said than done. Trust me, I know it's difficult, um, especially when it has to do with love, but um, sometimes you have to decide, well, what's it going to be? Is sometimes it could be a question of your own self-preservation, or what it is that you need to let go of. So is it truly for you? Is it good for you? Is it feeding you? Is it um, attributing to your spiritual growth? Is it in alignment with you? And if not, that's okay. But the longer you hold on to things that aren't for you, then the more you block yourself from your spiritual blessings and for the things that are for you. It's like blocking your own gifts. It's getting in your own way. of the things that um, could be magnetized to you, um, based off of you acting from your own authenticity and from a heart space, if that makes sense. So, and if it doesn't, another video. We don't have time. So, um, yes, where are we now? Magnetizing yourself to your what is in alignment for you and what's for you. And in order to do that, you have to create the energetic space for it, and you have to remove your own blocks and get out of your own way. Get out of your own way. So, um, with that being said, that's the energy. That's the planetary energy that we're working with. That's what we're dealing with. Um, I will come back. I don't know when our next. I don't know the next full moon, but um, that may be our next video. But anyway, that's our energy that we're working with. So, with that being said, I want to pull from our tarot and see what energies are working for you, and also what you're still needing to release and let go of. But what energies are supporting you right now? What energies are supporting the collective right now? Thank you, Spirit. What messages do we have for the collective for their highest good? What energies does the collective have working for them, or needing to let go of? Thank you. Man, that Ten of Swords. Oh, this Ten of Swords. Why can't people just... Oh, and the World again. See, I told you the World keeps coming out. That's too much energy. I'm just going to take 3. And then bottom of the deck, Hierophant. 6 of Pentacles. Hierophant and the 6 of Pentacles. Okay, why is the Ten of Swords still coming out? Ooh, I'm so sick of it. It's such a cringy. So the Ten of Swords is like, you know, betrayal, stabbed in the back, deceit, dealing with deception. You know, we're all dealing with transformational energy, and in order to do that, we have to clear and make energetic space for the good stuff. So it's peeling back the layers, getting past the muck to get to the good stuff. So with actually the 5 of Pentacles came out first. So the 5 of Pentacles is also an icky card. You know, 5 of Pentacles is like our lack, our, our lack mindset, or being left out in the cold, or really needing or wanting something. It's lack, and so it's really maybe healing some. Maybe the collective right now is healing some fears and issues surrounded by lack, money. Pentacles is our material possessions and money, and really releasing that. And I know in my experience, it's recognizing the abundance all around and not tying my self-worth to any particular dollar amount or bank account or whatever, because money is just another energy. Money is an energy. There's an energy to money, and it comes and goes. It flows. So knowing that, um, and not tying your self-worth to it is important, because it's that'll determine how quickly your relation to money and your relation to money will determine how it flows to and from to you. So a lot of you, a lot of us are healing our relation to money, how we earn money, what that looks like. You know, we are our culture to how we make money is even changing. You know, we have a very creative and collaborative culture that's going on right now. That's a movement right now, and um, it used to mean you have to go and get a degree, get a high level degree, and a high paying job, and work 80 hours 80 hours, 40 hours a week, 80 hours every 2 weeks, give up all this time for your life in order to make money. And that dynamic is healing, shifting, and changing into another dynamic that's more balanced, that, you know, it doesn't look like this anymore. It looks a little different. So we're clearing our relation to money, our material possessions, how we make it, how um, our relationship to it or lack of. And then we have the Ten of Swords, which again is a card about uh, backstabbing and betrayal. And usually it's somebody, you know, that it comes from somebody close, because that's how we experience that's usually how we experience our most um, our periods of betrayal. You know, a stranger, it's kind of hard to be betrayed by a stranger. Yeah, you can get scammed, but it's kind of hard. I guess what I'm saying is it's um it's a betrayal, because it's usually because it comes from somebody you love, or somebody that's unexpected. You don't expect to stab you in the back or betray you. And so that's the hurt of it. But again, with this energy, it's like, okay, well, where do you go from here? The only way is up. You've been killed, you've been knocked down, you've been stabbed in the back. Okay, well, the only way up from here is to move all those swords and get up and move on and be stronger for it. So a lot of the collective is clearing a lot of these traumas and wounds, past wounds and traumas out, and not holding on to it. And if you're not, then you should be, because that's what is aiding you in completing your cycles, which is the world here, completion of a cycle. But in this particular card, which has been coming out a lot, because we are in a 9 year. Nine is a number of completion, and we're in the year of the snake, and the snake is also very transformational. So this whole year is going to be about transformational change and completing cycles. And in the traditional Rider Waite, uh, we have our four fixed signs that are represented in the world, which is Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, and Scorpio. And um, that's a lot of the energy that's going on right now. You know, we have Pluto, we have a lot of fixed sign energy going on right now with Pluto, Aquarius, um, and now Leo and Scorpio being ruled by Pluto. Anyway, it's very transformational energy, and the world represents completion of a cycle, the ending, and it's being complete. But in this rendition, in this deck, with it being a mandala, mandala, it's like a pattern repeating in and out of itself. It's kind of kaleidoscopish. So it's a reminder that it's never truly the end of of a cycle there's only ending. There's never truly an end. There's only endings and beginnings. So once a cycle ends, a new cycle begins, and over and over and over. It's cyclical. Even in death, in true death, there's no real death. It's just a transference of energy. Your light body is no longer in corporeal form. So it's your energy is just transformed. So, and then with the Six of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck and the Hierophant also at the bottom of the deck, Six of Pentacles is about balance, equal give and take, reciprocity, but also this represents balance on a cosmic scale. So it's with this again with the portal that just passed on the 22nd and the energy of it, and with the new moon in Leo, it's like a reset. And with that reset, it's to create balance and level out the playing field, sort of deal. And with the Hierophant at the bottom of the deck too. Also, again, in case you don't know or you're new to tarot or you didn't hear any of my other videos, the cards playing out at the bottom of the deck is the hidden energy. It's either in the subconscious, not brought to light yet, or it's in the energies playing out in the background, not yet brought to the subconscious. Or it could be energies that have already played out, retrograde energy type deal. So it just depends on the nature of the read, the who it's for, the nature of the read, and in its context. But the Hierophant represents higher learning, higher education, institutions, institutional. It could be represent the government, colleges, any large structural institutions that that govern or teach. So there's changes there's changes happening with that as far as um, and balance. There's restructuring and balancing happening behind the scenes with that too. And I'm not going to read too much into the cards at the bottom of the deck, for one, for the sake of time, and two, because um, it's really shifty. It's really fluid and shifty right now, with Pluto in retrograde and some of the other energy. Gosh darn it, I dropped some cards. Some of the other energetic aspects that are going on that I mentioned earlier in the beginning. So it's really no point. Just get comfortable in the discomfort and find moments of joy in. Sorry about that, y'all. We were interrupted. My phone ran out of storage. I had to delete a whole bunch of stuff. All right. So anyway, that was our tarot. We're gonna start to wrap this up for the sake of space and storage. But I'm gonna read for you guys, pull for you guys. From the Ascension Oracle, and then do our pull from our roomie. Mickey Spirit, what message do we have for the collective for their highest, greatest good? Spirit. Hopefully that's not too much of a microphone menace on the microphone. There we go. All right. 2 came out, but I'm only going to read 1. 23, Divine Union. That came out earlier. And 36, Love Bound. 23 is a 5. 5 is change and conflict. 36 is a 9. I might read both. We'll see, depending on how long they are. 23, divine union. Balance is the blending of the divine masculine and feminine energy within. The divine feminine and the divine masculine are sacred polarities that exist in all life. This card comes to you so that you can explore the play of these polarities within yourself for inner union. When the masculine and feminine energies are not unified within you, there is an ongoing search in the external world for that missing aspect from your energy, be it the masculine looking for balance with the feminine in the external, or vice versa. This is a subconscious attraction to those of the opposite energy for that feeling of fulfillment. When you balance and unify these inner polarities, you no longer need relationships to complete you. Through this union within yourself, there is a wholeness in love. There is no neediness or attachment. There is simply a sharing of divine love. That search for equilibrium with another to fill any void or loneliness is replaced by the fullness and richness of being. Through this unification, there is internal harmony. Loved one, your external experiences and relationships will come to mirror your internal balance. That's beautiful. It's again, it reminds me of magnetizing, becoming the thing that you wish to have. So if it's a divine love that you wish to have, that you wish to magnetize to you, then have that within yourself. So you can't have you can't have a divine union until you've become whole within yourself, until you've mastered or balanced the divine masculine and feminine energies within yourself. Does that make sense? I really hope so, because I don't know how to say it any other way. It makes sense to me. Let's see. Exercise. Reflect on your internal relationship. Do you resonate with having more masculine or feminine energy? If uncertain, do some research on the qualities each part holds. Now visualize with love both parts coming together as one within you. Affirmation. I unite the divine masculine and feminine within me through unconditional love. Say that 3 times. Um, and that's important for me as well to hear, because me being a Leo, I'm ruled by the sun. The sun is a masculine energy, and yet I'm a woman and I'm feminine and I'm considered the divine feminine. So it's, but all of us have both aspects within us. You just have, depending on who you are and depending on your chart, your birth chart and your astrological sign, that will determine which way you tend to lean toward a little more, and could give you some insight as to where you would need to balance. Like maybe you're more masculine or need to introduce more feminine aspects, balance in more feminine aspects, and vice versa. All right, so that was kind of short, so I am going to read the other one, which is Love Unbound, and 36, which reduces to a 9. Again, 9 is a number of completion. 9 is my life path number. Oh, my curve. Oh, why did I turn it to 9? I meant to turn it to 36. Okay, Love Unbound. You can see that. We can be bound by our desires or freed by the totality of love. The oracle guides you to look more closely at your life. Are there any areas in which you feel limited and even bound by your own desires? Desire can be a very seductive, lucrative form of energy that can keep your soul feeling constantly energetically hungry. hunger that's never quite fulfilled. It is so easy to stay imprisoned in a life that is void of true happiness, love, and lasting fulfillment. Spirit has heard your call to experience great love. Love in its many forms surrounds you, but it is up to you to first relinquish all that does not serve you. If you wish to experience a more loving, sacred connection, connect with yourself more deeply by unconditionally loving and accepting all facets of yourself. This includes the aspects you may wish to be freed from. This will free you from energy that keeps you bound. Loved one, now is the time to choose. Do you wish to stay bound by your desires or freed by the totality of love? Do not give up. Love will prevail. Exercise. Close your eyes and look within. Are there any areas that keep you bound? Visualize yourself talking to that aspect of self. Embrace that part of you with absolute, unconditional compassion and acceptance. Affirmation. I experience greater love by unconditionally loving and accepting all facets of myself. That's beautiful. Love yourself first, love yourself most, and show up that way, and then attract that to you. All right. That's what we have from our Ascension Oracle. I have a card already out for Rumi because when I opened it, this was sticking in the page. So I thought, oh, and how synchronistic is it? I don't know. I don't remember the last time I opened this book. So I honestly don't remember when this would have gotten put in there. I mean, it hasn't been that long. I've used it not that long ago, but what I'm getting at is it's been a while. It's been before Leo season, that's for sure. And the card that came out is number 22, and it's the lion and the deer. So I'm going to keep it because I think it's synchronistic to the message that it would be in here to rediscover today. And we're in Leo season, and it has to do with the lion and the deer. And number 22 is significant to me. I don't know if it could be significant to any of you all, but 222 is master number, master life, master number, and it has to do with building. So, master builder. My late husband was a life path number 22. So, number 22 is significant to me when I see it. And I just happened to snatch it out of the page, so I lost my page. And then it was found. The lion and the deer. When you enter the garden of the heart, you become fragrant like the rose. When you fly toward heaven, you become graceful like the angel. If you get burned like oil, you become brilliant. When you become thin like hair in yearning, your joy leads the way. You'll be the kingdom and the king. You'll be the paradise and the guardian angel. You'll be infidelity. You'll be infidelity and you'll be faith. You'll be the lion and you'll be the deer. You are the lion and the deer. You are bold, fierce, and vibrant, and you are silent, sweet, and gentle. If I should come to you in arrogance, you roar at me until my falsehood quakes in fear. So terrified it gives up the game and love's conquest happens yet again. If I should come to you in surrendered adoration, open to whatever you may wish, you are so gentle with me. Like a deer, you offer me nothing to fear or resist, so that I too become sweet and gentle, longing to submit to your tender ministrations. So then, I do not fear my own errors, for even I stumble into arrogance. I shall be made wiser by your magnificent roar and become humble. Even if I become weak, I shall draw secure, evoking the tenderness in you. Whatever is needed to keep me true to love is what you give me. For you are the holy lion, proud and mighty, and the sweet deer, gentle as the mildest breezes of spring. Hello, my old friend. Do you remember me? When are we are the oldest of friends, ancient soulmates. We are acquainted over many lifetimes past and through many lessons learned together in the school of love. So here we meet again in this advanced spiritual training of the human experience with the earth as our classroom. The moment is upon us to leave behind what we have once known and to give up to the great mystery of life again. Our souls leapt from the divine oneness through the river of forgetfulness and now dive into a body and a new life. What a journey that leap begins. Let us embark on this studious adventure together. Let us honor the tiger and the lamb within each other, the lion and the deer. I can witness in you both the raging warrior who fights with unbreakable honor and the healer who brings together those torn apart. Of course, for are we not all things? Are we not human and angel, animal and spirit? Are we not heaven and earth? Are we not divine? And in being divine, being all things are divine. So we are here together in the school of love, not for the soul who still adheres to preference instead of curiosity, not for the soul who craves comfort instead of devotion and divine adventure. We must be like lovers, you and I. If we are to take these lessons, we must be willing to become mad with passion, crazy enough to chase the great beloved, even if it means forgetting who we are for a time to have the sacred delight of rediscovery, breaking some rules and looking like fools. Well, what could be greater than becoming a fool for love? What will do for us that will do well? Let us be fools for love together. So shall we become study mates. We'll recognize each other even in all of our varied garbs, bright or somber, wild or gentle. We'll become the most enthusiastic students in the school of love, urging each other to ever greater feats in passion and devotion. How we shall outdo each other in grand gestures and our unwavering commitment. This oracle brings you a special message. You are rediscovering a part of yourself that has been lost or submerged underneath more practical concerns. Of course, if practicality is about survival, then learning to be your true self is most essential and practical. All other paths lead to death of the soul. You are asked to bear the chaos of this rediscovery. It may be that talents from this or other lifetimes are reawakened and cause you some discomfort at first, even though they will ultimately bring joy and greater fulfillment. The discomfort may be around how those talents are best expressed, about overcoming shame, guilt, doubt, or other judgments. It may even be about who you are